stories, issues happen every second, every hour, and every day. Our forum is how these issues affect the society. Join us every weekday, 12 to 1 p.m. on Atlantic Television Network as we explore issues affecting the society. Societal Watch with Flora G. All right, welcome back. We're talking vote buying and selling implications society development. One of the pillars that support every democracy is election. Election is a major factor in the stabilization and democratization of emerging democracies. It forms an important pillar that places the power to govern with the people. Elections are important to a nation's construction and the electorate since it performs the role of a litmus test for democratic institution. It ensures that democratic pillars, including rule of law, ballot secrecy, separation of powers, independence of the judiciary, and many more, are strengthened. It allows citizens to take part in governance, give the citizens the opportunity to select their leaders. Furthermore, it gives citizens the power to evaluate how leadership governments have excelled in all facets of national life, such as education, economy, agriculture, corruption, standard of living, and more. Citizens participate in election by way of voting. The voting is done with the aid of voters' card. The voters' card gives the citizen the right to be involved in governance. It is the citizen's right and strength. But when this right and power is not judicially used or sold for personal pleasure that may last only for a few hours or days, the effect could linger for years in the society. In the news, hashtag Anambra Decides 2021. Election characterized by vote buying, low turnout, says Center for Democracy and Development. The CDD said the widespread of incident of vote buying may affect the credibility of election. Observers reported numerous not so discreet cases of see and buy in polling units across the 21 LGAs of the state. In many reported cases, police officers have been alleged to have looked at the other way, likely as a result of having themselves been compromised. This practice, which appears to cut across party lines, has been an increasing feature of Nigerian elections and requires more concerted remedial efforts by INEC and other critical stakeholders, the statement read. The group said the low turnout of voters reflects the climate of uncertainty leading up to election, as well as the historically high level of voter apathy that have been recorded in the state. CDC also lamented the persistent failure of the bimodal voter accreditation system across polling units, which it said impaired the smooth conduct of election and will likely disenfranchise some intended voters. And now, as usual, our questions. What is the root cause of votes harvesting in Nigeria election? And again, what are the implications of votes buying and selling on society development by way of inspection, nation building? My guest, patobiene, social political commentator, joins me now in the studio. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Flora, for inviting me, and good afternoon to our listeners.
Okay, I'm supposed to play a video clip, indicating words I just read. I just hope we have it in the course of the show. But let's quickly run through some of the questions we have here. Over the weekend, I saw a video clip of citizens of Anambra State collecting some stipends and a can of drink, and of course, they were being asked in the process, do you have a voter's card? In the Igbo dialect, umere voter's card. You know, that was the words from the party person who was giving that the money. And this whole scenario has been ongoing for years, since the inception of Nigerian democracy. One may want to ask, how did we arrive at that space? What even gave rise to vote harvesting? Quote unquote, vote buying and vote selling. Parts.
Yes, please. Okay. Well, first of all, thanks to the the people of Anambra State for being able to give heed to the voice of reason, to be able to minimize the kind of violent election that was anticipated before last Saturday. But going forward, looking at the issue on focus now, vote buying and selling, as one unfortunate political culture we had come to encourage wrongfully or promote. It's clearly, first of all, Flora, it's important for the people to understand that it is criminal under the Electoral Act if aspirants or candidates or the political class try to promote the culture of vote buying or selling. Particularly, if you look at, permit me, I have a copy of the Electoral Act here.
Okay. If
you look at section 130 that prescribes the offense that is called undue influence, you look at, it says, a person who, sub A, corruptly by himself or by any other person at any time after the date of an election has been announced, directly or indirect, gives or provides or pays money to or for any person for the purpose of corruptly influencing that person or any other person to vote or refrain from voting at such election, or on account of such person or any other person having voted or refrained from voting at such election. Or sub B, being a voter, corruptly accepts or takes money or any other inducement during any of the periods stated in paragraph A of this election, of this section rather, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to fine of 100,000 naira or 12 months imprisonment or both. So if you look at this provision critically, Flora, you agree with me that it means that from the beginning, any politician or electorate or officials of electioneering process that does it had committed a crime in the first place. Now, the $1 million question is, in the 22 years of our democratic experience, we've always witnessed, some of us have evidences of people who promote this primitive culture of vote buying. And we don't see this penalty or this sanction or this consequence as prescribed by the law meted against these persons or brought before the law or brought to book. Don't forget that in itself will encourage further promotion of this kind of culture, because we've not had punitive measures in the past, against those who actually commit these offenses. That is one major fact we must understand why till now, and in the case of the Anambra election, people are still emboldened to go ahead to be buying votes and induce people to accept or refrain. Now, having said that, the second factor we need to understand is it also reveals that the candidates in question lack the popularity that is necessary in a democratic society. Because when you talk about democratic electioneering, you're looking at popularity. You're not looking at an individual dictating who emerges as the leader. You're looking at a process that encourages popular participation. In other words, a candidate that will represent the popular opinion. And you can't achieve that by buying votes. It will have to come from the conscience and the will of the vote.